So, Jeff, thank you so much for coming on for this interview today. Really appreciate it. Jeff Bush is the founder of overflowworks.com, which is direct mail, direct marketing. He has actually worked with Fortune 500 companies doing their direct mail with an emphasis in mortgage, home improvement, like solar, windows, doors, B2B companies, and car dealerships. This is President Bush. It's the State of the Union, COVID-19, direct mail advertising update for all of you business owners right now that, the worst thing you could do right now, obviously, is pulling back your marketing. And we're going to go into depth on why that would be a bad idea right now, including people getting double response rates, double the normal response rates. So Jeff, let's start there. First let's start, how long have you been in the direct mailing industry?
Well, I'm 49 years old and I started selling direct mail when I was 20. So I guess that puts us at 29 years that I've been selling direct mail. I did take a 7-year break from selling direct mail and actually got in the mortgage business. And I actually bought millions of dollars of direct mail for my mortgage company. So I like to tell people I've been on both sides of the business. I've sold a lot of direct mail, but I've also bought a lot of direct mail and used it for my business to drive leads and became a pretty successful mortgage company back in the day. In my 7-year break, which was 2000 to 2007, and then '07, the mortgage meltdown, I kind of went back to my day job, selling direct mail again in a pretty big way, pretty good sized company. So I had some years doing it.
Nice. Yeah. You definitely have plenty of experience. I know that much. And so so many business owners, like I stated, are pulling back marketing dollars right now during this time. And what would you say to that?
Wow, that's a great question. What would I say to that? I mean, right now people are home and people are spending, 5 minutes with a mail piece where they used to spend 5 seconds. So it's crazy, our response rates on direct mail. It's actually doubled from 3 weeks ago to last week. We generate around 50,000 inbound phone calls every month from our direct mail to our clients. And 1 week, instead of 12,000 phone calls, it was like 25,000 phone calls on the same volume of mail. So we've proven that direct mail response rates have doubled in this crazy time. Now, granted, we're doing a lot of mortgage refi mail and rates went down and people got a little nervous about maybe pulling some cash out of their home. So definitely the market is helping our response rates, but we do see in all the industries, response rates are up. People are home and they have time to look at their mail. They're bored. They don't have a lot to do, So response rates have doubled just in the last few weeks. It's kind of a crazy time.
No, and it's kind of like personal and business are melding together because they have to stay at home and they're working from home, right?
It's like a highlight to go out to your mailbox and get mail now. Before it was like annoying. It's like, oh, I have something to read. I have something to talk about. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie. The same thing. I would never look at the mail. And even yesterday, I kind of was like, oh, this is interesting. That's interesting. And yeah, because you just have this free time, while you're outside looking at the mail. So it's kind of exciting again, right? And get away from the computer for a change. And so, obviously, how is your business, through the coronavirus, COVID-19, like how your business, like what else is going on?
Yeah, so good question. Our business, we had a record month in February after 9 years in business. We're doing more direct mail than we've ever done, helping clients get big response rates. Honestly, March was crazy. Like the third week of March, about half of our clients called and said, we don't know what's going on, stop the mail. So literally everybody stopped the third week of March and just said, don't mail until we know what's going on. A few days later, when they had answers like, hey, people are still, okay, and our response rates are good, and we're still, selling orders, they all turned the mail back on. So the month of March, just the honest truth is overflow was down by 20%. Normally we do a few $1 million and we're down exactly 20% for the month of March because everybody stopped mail for 1 week, but then they turned it back on and saw double the response rate. So April's looking like a pretty big month for overflow just because response rates are up and people are still mailing. Maybe not the cruise line companies, cruise ships and airline companies are probably going to stop mail. So a couple industries that have just been crippled, but mortgage companies, our car dealers pulled back a little bit. They're having a hard time right now selling cars and getting people into the service department, but our home improvement companies are still mailing. Some of our retail companies are throttling up mail right now. Online sales are big. So it kind of depends on the industry, but that's kind of the state of where overflow's at right now.
And then the car dealerships, I thought GM just recently said like 0% down, 5 years, so they're still turning down the direct mail.
Yeah, they're coming up with offers, incentives just to get people into dealerships because, traffic into dealership is slow. I just noticed Hyundai just announced their whole, if you lose your job over COVID-19, we'll make your car payment for 6 months. I remember when Hyundai did that back in 2008 and they crushed it. Everyone else pulled back and Hyundai went big, and so did Kia. And they actually kept sales, pretty high where a lot of people fell apart. So there's a good example of somebody, a big factory, Hyundai. It's like, we're going to keep advertising. We're on TV. We're going to have good incentives, a good offer, and we're going to push through this. So Hyundai's doing pretty well right now.
Nice. And then I know, obviously the USPS is still open, right? Because it's considered an essential service. So they're still delivering mail.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, I think President Trump was going to hand the post office, was it $25 billion to keep them going? I mean, I thought it was kind of funny, like, one more time, we're bailing out the post office. They just can't shut it off. And I was talking to some friends in some high-up places in direct mail and USPS, and they said, Jeff, a lot of these government checks are being mailed to people. We have to keep the post office going. Also, if you think about all the people that have moved from driving into the grocery store and Walmart to ordering through Amazon, guess who delivers Amazon packages? The post office, like 90% of it. So the post office cannot close right now. I mean, cross my fingers, but the chances of them closing, and we haven't even really seen delays in mail being delivered. So Amazon packages are still coming. Government relief checks are going to be mailed soon. So post office is pretty crucial. I got a postcard the other day. In fact, I'll look for it. I thought this was kind of interesting. This was a coronavirus postcard that I got in the mail from my house, mailed from the government. So President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America, the CDC. So the government's using, mail to communicate with people right now. There's no way they can shut it off. Social Security checks. So we feel pretty good about that right now.
No, and that brings me to my next point, because I know you guys do this as a piece, is those kind of faux checks, right? Because people are going to obviously be waiting for those checks. Do you guys do that type of direct mail?
Yeah, we do check advertising, like faux or fake checks has always been a big open rate. I think there's some legality around it. You need to be a little careful. And I tell clients, don't make your check look like it's the government, stimulus check right now. Don't push the limit of this whole fake check. But, we can do a little watermark on a check through the envelope, and it just makes it look like a check, and it makes you open the envelope. And then inside, we clearly say what it's for: $1,000 off a car. 0% interest on windows and doors, or a mortgage loan for $300,000. So the check's a good way to advertise right now, especially with people looking for their government checks over the next few weeks. We really like the tan craft brown envelope right now because it kind of looks like a government IRS envelope. So that'll get a really high open rate, just to advertise and get through this craziness we're dealing with, in our country.
Do you guys do call tracking with all your clients?
We've got 400 toll-free numbers that are pointed to ring at, 300 different clients. And so we track all the mail, we record phone calls. So that's how we're able to say, hey, last month we generated 50,000 inbound phone calls for our clients. We record the calls, listen to them. Our clients listen to them. It's a great little service just for tracking mail, toll-free numbers.
No, that's amazing. And then, obviously, do you have any other industry examples? I know you talked about, mortgage industry, obviously, solar, construction. Are there any others right now off the top of your head that are doing really well?
Auto warranty companies and home warranty companies. We just onboarded a huge client that's doing a lot of direct mail in the warranty space. So anytime things happen in the economy kind of tanks, people tend to get a little nervous and want to protect their investment. So warranty's pretty big right now. I'm trying to think. Some attorneys have called us to ramp up direct mail for legal type things. A couple business to business clients that want to sell more online and their salespeople can't go out in person. I know solar companies are calling us because they can't go door to door knocking. Believe it or not, door knocking canvassing is still one of the biggest lead gen systems for big solar companies, and they can't really do that right now. So let's turn on direct mail and send out 10,000 salespeople in an envelope, and get them, getting these people to call us inbound phone calls. So that's been kind of an interesting development in solar and some of our home improvement clients.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for the state of the union of direct mail right now. Is there any other last comments or thoughts you wanted to tell business owners that are wondering what to do in these times?
The supply chain's been broken for a lot of businesses. I mean, if you don't have something to sell or you can't be open, like I wouldn't encourage a restaurant probably to direct mail right now. All the restaurants are closed, but there's so much opportunity right now. People are home to get a message out there. If you have a good list, a good offer. So we'd love to, we welcome phone calls, and we do free demos on what's the right list, what's the right offer, what's the right mail piece, anticipated response rates, ROI. We love to walk clients through that, just all free of charge. So I encourage someone to call us, email us, and just take a look at what the opportunity is amongst all of the fear that's out there. There's always opportunities. So.
No, we'll for sure have your contact info at the bottom of this video. So really appreciate it. I'm guessing your whole team, I know you're at the office, but is your whole team remote right now, or?
Yeah, I've got like 7,000 square feet out here, and it's empty. It's me. Actually, there's like 2 people that are popping in and out. We're an essential service because we're doing direct mail. We're allowed to stay open, but everybody's being careful. Most people are just working from home if we can. I'm coming in for a couple hours here and there. The building's pretty much empty. So big 80,000 square foot Class A office building, and it's weird, the parking lot's empty. So the very few people working, most of us are working from home, but I got 4 dogs, 4 kids, wife at home. It's like, I got to come into work a little bit, so anyways.
Awesome, Jeff. Well, thanks again so much for this interview. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Christine.